it is the authorized dealer to buy drugs from, and this is because from KEMSA we get the right drugs. Our drugs are labeled, and we are able to get the supplies from KEMSA. And you know, KEMSA, we have had issues with pending bills, but KEMSA, because it's a government agency, has always provided the department with the medical supplies, and the department, we have been able to commit to payments. Like we had a pending bill. From the information that I know, the pending bill has been cleared. Not all of it, but at least it has been cleared to some extent. And now KEMSA has agreed to give the county some medical supplies. The other question was about the public health in schools. As a Department of Health, we have a public health department which has a school health program. And in the school health program, our public health officers plus the other teams, we are using the sub-county teams. They go to the schools. Public health officers will do inspection of the schools. They will do inspection of the food and also the inspection of the buildings. And in this, the department works in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, also using the school health policy, whereby they are able to advise the school. And then we have also programs that we are working together with the Ministry of Health. We have the deworming program that at times of the year, the Malezi Bora Week, we go to the schools, deworm the children that are in the ECD centers. We also have, from our department, we give the HPV vaccine or the human papilloma vaccine to the girls aged 10 years. So this is a government program that we work in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, with the Ministry of Education, sorry. And then we also give health talks when we go to the schools. We give health talks to the students. Like right now, we are having an issue as a county. We are dealing with the teenage pregnancies. So when we go to our schools, there's a lot of health talk. We talk to the students about life skills, talk to the students about reproductive health issues, to be able to give them information. We also talk about sanitation to them under the WASH program, and again under the menstrual hygiene management program. We talk to the pupils in our schools and the students in our secondary schools. The last question was about public health and food vendors. When it comes to food vendors or hawking of food, we understand that hawking of food is prohibited in the public health department. However, we realize that it is still going on, and I think it is because of the harsh economic situations that our people hawk food, our people sell food in the open. So as a public health department, we are supposed to offer a minimal package for sanitation. We talk to our people who are hawking food that they should observe hygiene, and they should get also a medical certificate to be able to sell food to the mwananchi. Thank you.
But Madam Violet,
Yes.
we only have 1 hour. You are scheduled to have 1 hour. So I think you should be brief so that you attend all questions. Kindly.
Thank you.
Morning. My name is Nancy. I'm a member to this committee. My first question to you today is, give this committee relevance of your qualification to the position you're nominated to. Give this committee the relevance to your qualifications to the position you're nominated to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair, the relevance of my qualification is that I have done health systems the management of our health facilities. I think we have had issues there. And what I know is that all the cadres that are supposed to be managing the health facilities, there was like, you will find the Act says maybe a sub-county will have to be managed by somebody from the Kenya Medical and Dentist Board. But when it comes to our county, we might not even have those people. And when it comes again to the management of health facilities, we will have that other cadres can also, or other clinicians can be able to manage these facilities. So I would consider that one first.
Okay, I have another question. Share your technical view on the following subjects. 1, leasing of medical equipment as opposed to purchasing. What module would you advise the county government to adopt and why?
Okay, thank you for that question. When it comes to medical equipment, previously we have had the MES equipment, that is the medical equipment that were actually leased to the counties by the national government, and it is the government that has been, it was a contract for 3 years, which ended in December 2022. The national government leased this equipment to the counties, and we have seen that the medical equipment that were actually leased to the counties are the very, very advanced, like the CT scan that was leased to the Taita Taveta County in all our in our county referral hospital. And I understand that the government was actually paying for this lease through the counties, but I believe it was through the check-off system. And now the president is talking to the counties to be able to take up this responsibility and to be able to lease the equipment on its own. So discussions are in place and they'll be in place. But for my view is that as counties, we have had issues when it comes to finances. For me, if I would be asked what to do, I would recommend, if the government still continues leasing the equipment for the counties, it becomes much easier. And like for us, because we know we have financial issues, financial constraints, we might not be able to take full responsibilities for the same.
So you said your advice would be?
My advice will be, if possible, let the national government renew the lease, so that, because we have issues with finances in our counties, we might not be able to pay for them. But if the county is able to pay and allocations are made with the help of this house, maybe we can consider that.
Okay. Question number 2. How do you look forward to managing health services in the event of an industrial action by health workers in this county?
Talking about industrial actions, in the health service. We know that they have been there, and they have been such a big issue of concern. What I would wish to say is that many a times these industrial actions are called on by either the national unions or the county unions. And what I know is that at some point, the unions will raise issues that they want to be addressed. They will raise issues like promotions, issues to do with redesignations, working conditions. So for me, these unions, we should call them to dialogue. Dialogue with them, reason with them, because when they're talking about promotions will have a cost implication. And I would embrace dialogue with these unions before they reach to a point whereby they have to go out of their working stations. So dialogue all the time. We put our heads together, the unions and the other stakeholders, even the county assembly and the health committee for that matter, will really be of importance when it comes to talking about issues of strike, so that we avert the strike before these people go out of their working stations. Thank you.
My third and last question. What are the challenges facing our cemetery and crematorium services, and how would you address them? What are the challenges facing our crematorium and cemetery services, and how would you address them? Thank you.
For the cemetery services, cemetery sites, as per now, I think those cemetery sites are full. So the challenges are there. Sometimes they go to maybe to dig up a grave, and chances are they might remove somebody that was already buried there a long time ago. So what I would advocate, maybe if possible, to get some land elsewhere that can be allocated for a cemetery, because the current ones that we have are already full in capacity.
Madam Violet, time is really moving. So I request Honorable Shambi to ask the all questions so that she can respond at once. Kindly.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Madam Violet, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Honorable Shambi, and I have actually 4 quick questions that I want to ask you. So kindly note them down, and then you'll ask them. You'll respond to them in wholesale. The first question is it's just general knowledge question. Assuming elections were coming up next month, and the governor wants to come and commission an incomplete project under your docket for political expediency, how would you handle the matter? Assuming elections were coming up next month, and the governor wants to come and commission an incomplete project under your docket for political expediency, how would you handle that matter? That is the first one. The second one, you are scheduled to have a health stakeholders meeting in Nairobi for 3 days. Which meeting dates happen to fall on a date you are supposed to appear before this committee on health for deliberations? Which meeting would you not want to miss? Which one would you prioritize between the two? Is that clear?
Yes, it is clear.
The third one, Your docket has 3 grounded ambulances which were donated to the county and which never served this county for even a year. How do you plan to handle them? Is it clear?
Yes, it is clear.
And the final one, how would you handle a director of health services who has blessings of your seniors, in brackets? How would you handle a director of health services who has blessings of your seniors, who does not take instructions from you, which conduct affects service delivery? Is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair. For an incomplete project that is about to be commissioned by the governor, what I would do is that, because if the governor wants to commission an incomplete project, I believe that there is a contractor on site. So, because now maybe the project must be commissioned, what I would advocate is because the constructor is on site, he should be able to complete the works even after commissioning. Should be advised, because I know we cannot for at the end of the completion of the project, we have to issue a completion certificate to the contractor. So it is advisable that much as it has been commissioned, because of reasons, we still need to finish up that project to be able to issue a completion certificate. About the meeting, you talked about a stakeholders meeting and a summon by the county assembly. These meetings are equally important, but for me as the chief officer, what I can do is to attend the county assembly session, because the county assembly session will be talking about issues affecting the department in Taita Taveta County. And for the other health stakeholders forum, I can delegate to somebody that will represent me in that meeting. For the ambulances that have been grounded, I learned that the ambulances were actually a donation from USA. And these ambulances are grounded because the spare parts are not found in Kenya. So currently that is the situation. We cannot get the spare parts for the ambulances. So it might be difficult to revive them as per now. For the director of health services that is having issues in the department, what I would say is that the director of health service is actually an employee of the Taita Taveta County Public Service Board, and if they have disciplinary issues, the disciplinary process should take its course as any other officer that needs to be disciplined. Thank you.
Well, now I take this opportunity to welcome Majority Leader for some few questions. then we hand it over to our able DS. Thank you.
Through the chair, Madam, congratulations for your nomination. My name is Anton Warige, MCA Burawat and Majority Leader. I have 3 questions for you. 1, outline and briefly explain the 3 principles of devolved government. Outline and explain the 3 principles of devolved government. Next question. There have been numerous challenges on the procurement of drugs as well as shortages of essential drugs. What do you intend to do to curb these challenges? There have been numerous challenges on the procurement of drugs as well as shortages of essential drugs. What do you intend to do to curb these challenges? Last question. Name the speakers of the following houses. Name the speakers of the following houses. 1, the National Assembly. 2, the Senate. 3, the County Assembly of Taita Taveta. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, through the chair, I didn't get the last question properly. The speakers of...
Name the speakers of the following houses. Name the speakers of the following houses. 1, the National Assembly. 2, the Senate. 3, the County Assembly of Taita Taveta.
Okay, thank you for that question. The principles of devolved government, what I would say is that the county government is committed to serving all the denizens of Taita Taveta, regardless of, without any discrimination. So it's supposed to be fair to all as in governance. Also to offer, to give opportunities to the people in the county, and again, to be able to make sure the citizens of Taita Taveta get a fair share when it comes to allocation of resources. On procurement, you talked about a shortage of essential drugs and challenges. What I would do is I will be advocating for facilities to order as per their consumption and needs, to be able to order a 3-month supply plus the buffer stock, and they should strictly adhere to the national guidelines of the standard order form to be able to get the right medicines and supplies. And also, I'll also advocate for us to be procuring these medicines from the authorized dealer, and that is KEMSA, the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, because this is very authentic. When you get drugs from KEMSA, they have the GOK, a label, they also have the seal, so we are able to know that these drugs are the recommended ones, and it's a national, it's the Kenyan agency that recommends we buy drugs from KEMSA. The challenges is that we have always had shortages. We have had issues that before that the medicines were brought and kept in a central store, and then the distribution became an issue. So for me, I would advocate that these drugs are bought from KEMSA And I know KEMSA, as you purchase the drugs, the distribution cost is included in the buying cost. So for me, as the chief officer, is to recommend that facilities buy direct from KEMSA, because KEMSA will be mandated to distribute the drugs right to the facilities. And that is the last mile delivery. KEMSA is able to deliver up to the doorstep. So for shortages, we say that, I would say that our facilities should be able to keep the records, to be able to track the medicines in our daily activity registers, the issuance forms like the S11, to be able to maintain the stock cards so that they will know at what point that they're running out of supplies, and to be able to do a timely ordering for the same. The last question was about the speakers for the National Assembly. The speaker for the National Assembly is Honorable Moses Wetangula, and the speaker for the Senate is the Honorable Amazon Kingi, and for Taita Taveta is Honorable Wisdom Mamburi.
Thank you, Chairman. Welcome, Madam Violet, to this interactive session. So, from my end, I would appreciate if you could tell us, you know, health is devolved, is a devolved function, but what are the specifics that have been, the specific functions that have been devolved according to the 4th schedule of our Constitution? That is 4th schedule of our Constitution. So the devolved functions within health, what is it that in health has been devolved that is not handled by the national government? So that is one, the devolved functions. The other thing that I would like you to highlight to this committee is on the principles and values of public service. I would wish to, if you can share 4 or 5, would wish to hear, because that's what will also be applying in the performance of your next role. The other thing I would also like you to highlight is kindly name for us at least 4 members of county assembly, at least 1 in each sub-county. From each sub-county, name one member of county assembly. And the final one, there's a discussion, there's a national discussion ongoing, and even across borders, about LGBTQ. I think I've pronounced it right. You as the possible incoming CCO Health, what is your thought on the same and their operation in Taita Taveta? Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Madam Violet,
Yes.
we are running short of time. Kindly, we are giving you at least 10 minutes to wrap up everything.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair. On devolved functions, health department was actually devolved, and all the functions in the health department were devolved to the county government. On principles of and values of public service, there is accountability, transparency, and inclusiveness. Those are the principles of public service. And for the members of County Assembly in Mwatate, you said I name one.
Chair, if you can be generous enough, even two.
Okay, thank you. For Mwatate, member of County Assembly, I know Honorable Joseph Malega is from Mwatate Sub-County. From Voi, I know we have Honorable Azar, is from Voi, from Voice, Kaloleni Ward. And Taveta, we have Honorable Kinyili from Taveta. The ward, I think it is Chala Ward, if I'm not wrong. And then for Taita or Undanyi Sub-County, we have Honorable Ganad Mwandao, I think from Weruga Ward. Oh, sorry. The last question was the LGBTQ question. We understand that that is the in thing in the county right now, and they are advocating for their rights as LGBTQ. For me, as a Department of Health, we are not supposed to discriminate on these people because they will come to our facilities seeking for service. So we are supposed to give service without discrimination. When it comes to the other side of maybe the religious class, health, we leave it to the religious class. But for us as Department of Health is to be able to give service regardless of one's sexual orientation, without discrimination. Thank you.
Well, I'll allow one question from Mkala.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair, Madam, you have mentioned about you agree on leasing of facilities rather than acquiring, if I had got you clearly. So my question is about the outside catering services that are currently in our facilities. What is your opinion on the same? Do you think we should have them or stop them?
For the through the chair, sorry. For the catering services in our county, right now I understand there is outsourcing of catering services. For me, as I come into office, I would really wish we discourage this one because when it comes to catering or patient food, we have people in place that were employed as cooks in our hospitals. So currently they are not doing their work, and understand a few of them are just preparing patient tea. And when it comes again to outside catering, it is rather expensive for us as a county. Knowing that we have resource financial constraints, I would really wish that should we get our good financial allocations to the hospitals to be able to procure food items, because we have the cooks in place, that it becomes cheaper for us as a county, and we are able to save on some monies that maybe were being used in the expensive outsourcing system. So I would advocate that, if possible, We get allocations, buy our own food, use our own cooks that are in our hospitals so that we save on costs.
Well, Madam Violet, we are very much grateful for engaging with you. And could you please give us your parting shot?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm also grateful for this wonderful experience. It has been a good experience. And as the Chief Officer Health, my parting shot would be, as a Chief Officer or as a health department, we cannot work alone. We need the indulgence of the county assembly and more so the committees to be able to work together and give service to the people of Taita Taveta, because as we create synergy among ourselves, we will be able to make the health department something that somebody can adore, and maybe even we get other people from other counties coming to benchmark to see what the county assembly plus the health department is doing in the county. So I'm calling upon the House to be able to assist us as health. We know we have many issues. Assist us in bringing back the glory of the health department, more so in service delivery and all the other building blocks in service delivery. Thank you.
You are welcomed, and we wish you all the best. Thank you, honorable members.
Thank you too.
The session